Okay.
All right. Sorry about the interruption here, folks. We're gonna actually have to record this race, and I don't know what's going on with my internet, but apparently it's affecting the stream quality, and I want to give you guys the best quality possible. So we're gonna have to record the race here. But like you were saying, I think my keys to victory here are definitely to stay up front and stay out of the action. In action, I mean crashes, because this is a restrictor plate styled track for these cars. Cody?
Yeah, and so my key to victory is like we've been seeing these cars have a lot of trouble keeping that rear end in the back instead of it just wanting to turn around. We have a pretty large field today, so as long as we keep in pack racing, I think everything will be just fine. As you see, the 42 to 26 kind of rode that high line this whole time, so things are able to change here. The biggest thing here in Michigan is coming out of turn 4, the track actually starts to widen just a little bit, and I mean that gives you a little bit more room to play with. And a lot of people like to take that apron on the front stretch to kind of get that better line going into turn 1. But my key to success too is just going to be stay out of that big one. It's not when, it's not if, it's when it's going to happen. And I've always done well running this low line. What about you, Dubious?
I've found speed a lane above the low line here. But it only works if there's cars on the outside and on the inside. So you're pushing it 3 wide, so it would be something that I would try later in the race, especially where we see that 29, the actual 62 and the 29. They're still a little bit below it. I think you need to go a little bit higher to hit that line. But I don't understand why the line works. Technically shouldn't, but I feel like the reason why the line works is because you get a side draft on the cars to your inside and outside, and it projects you forward. And every time I've done it, that's how I've won races here at Michigan when we've been practicing with these cars. So I guess that would be my line to run at the end of the race. Right now, I would just try to stay in line and mind my P's and Q's and just be patient.
Yeah, and there's definitely going to be I feel like we're going to run this track green flag for most of it. So you're going to have to make some green flag pit stops here. We have it set to where the fuel will not make you all the way through the race, and actually with these vehicles, it wouldn't even make it all the way. And your tire window is probably on this track, probably about in between 20 and 25 laps. I mean, just because it's such a long track. So I mean, I think in between those laps is when we're really going to start seeing some, I'd say, bold moves to try to get to the bottom of the track, to try to get that green flag stop, or see just what risky takes everyone's going to do.
What I've noticed through practicing here is new tires will really affect your car. If there's 5 laps to go, I would actually take new tires if no one went with me, because I feel like I could get through the whole field.
We had the car of Kenneth Reeder just get a little bit loose coming out of turn 4. Looks like he was actually going down and seeing that he had a car below him and trying to correct himself. No caution or any wrecks right there. Just a little bit of a mistake, and everybody's rolling forward with it.
Because we got almost 4 wide for the lead there for a second. That's one of the great things about this track compared to others is you could take it almost 6 wide here if you wanted to.
If you got the people who can actually hold their line, you can run, like you said, you can run 4 wide the whole race. I mean,
yeah, there's definitely enough space to run this track. Problem is that high side isn't as fast as the bottom side.
It's true, but I mean, you do get a little bit more of a longer straightaway. As we look, 62 and 81 have been battling for the lead right here. 81 is Blaze Berland. He's not new to our league, but in these street stocks. He hasn't really been here for very many races. Kenneth Reeder has been taking this league. I mean, just race after race. I mean, either placing in the top 5 or top 3. Kenneth is a dang good racer, and that's actually one of my picks. I don't know if we went over that. My 2 picks are Kenneth Reeder and Matt Brewer in the number 6. Unfortunately, right now, you are beating me in our picks. So let's hope I can get one right tonight.
Yeah, definitely. My pick would be that 81 of Blaze Berlin, and then my second pick would have to be I would have to say the 21 of Rocco. He's back in the bottom of the pack right now, but he's won 2 in a row. Definitely has a fast car every week, and he's definitely a contender. But I think this might be a wild card race where anyone can really win it.
Yeah, it's just going to come down to those strategies, like we were talking about earlier about green flag pit stops. I mean, I honestly think the skill set we have in this lobby right now, and not too big of a lobby, we're going to do a lot of green flag racing tonight.
A lot of green flag racing, but I mean, it's a whole pack. Like, there's no one streamed out by themselves here.
So yeah, I mean, the slightest bit of a mess up could cause a big wreck and completely change the game up. And I think that might be what Rocco's strategy is here tonight, because like I said, he's been the fastest car for the past 2 weeks, and he's just kind of hanging out in the back with 2 other racers, Matthew Brewer and looks like Chris Warner. So that they may have a strategy set up to where they're going to sit in the back and wait for it to really happen.
I mean, we've seen this strategy with restrictor plate racing in the Monster Energy Cup series and the Xfinity series and the Truck series. But we definitely don't see this kind of racing at Michigan with the Cup cars or the trucks or anything like that. As we got a little contact with the 81 and the 62 of Kenneth Reeder, as Kenneth Reeder is running a different scheme than he normally does to pay tribute to one of his friends that races. That's the car that he runs weekly. Definitely not his number, the 62, but we let him run that car tonight just for fun.
Yeah, as I went back and looked at that, a little bit of a push there. 62 was just kind of, looks like he just came down just a little bit, not much, and the 81 was coming up to try to exit that turn, and it was just a little bit of a tap. Nothing too serious.
As we're still 3 wide for the lead here, I mean, I really would love to see these kind of cars on this track do a full race with a 40-car field, because this is insane. Yeah.
So, 29 almost got to the side of the 42, or 299 almost got to the side of the 42 right there. Now, I think he's looking to give the 62 of Kenneth Reeder a push and get that lead back. As we hit lap number 13 of the Pure Michigan 85. And just going around it, these cars being a no-lift car on this track. Oh, got a little bit of a tap there from 299. And the Kenneth Reeder, the 62, once again, he was able to hold it. Kenneth has been getting bumped around, door checked, and just moved around this track a lot. But he's been able to save it every time so far. Let's just hope he can keep that up throughout the rest of the race.
And what that did was punched up the field there. I'm surprised no one ran over the back of someone as he checked up there.
Yeah, it gives the 81 car a little bit more of that advantage, since the 62 had to slow down just a little bit. Oh, and he's just pulling right away once again, the 299. Oh, looks like we have the 42 car coming up, with the 26 car starting to give him a little bit. Took that bubble and took some of that air off of him, sped him up.
As we're 2x2 for the first 6 spots here. Almost 3x3 here. I'm surprised
Oh,
that we haven't
62.
seen a wreck, Cody, here.
Yeah, exactly.
They're running so close, and the margin of error is so big here that I'm surprised we haven't seen a big wreck here.
Me and you both at 62. It looks like he changed his line, his approach on this track right here. Oh, 299 is going to get a big push from the 42 car. The 81 still running down low on his own and maintaining that speed. I mean, Blaze may have the fastest car out here tonight.
That he may, but he's definitely making some risky moves. Now, unlike a lot of tracks, as we see Jason Raymond go to the bottom there, I don't know if he got shuffled out or a bad push that sent him onto the that runoff area on the backstretch. But like I was saying, unlike Talladega and Daytona for most cars, that white line and yellow line is an out of bounds zone. Here, all the way around the track is fair game, all the way from the top to the bottom. So we can see people go underneath that yellow line and make some moves, but it's very risky. There is not as much banking underneath that yellow line as there is on the track. There is some, but not a lot.
That's definitely a yellow flag hazard there. Coming up on that, going down on that apron and trying to get back up on that banking can get your car to spin at a snap of a finger. I mean, it's a little risky. Oh, looks like we got some green flag pitting right here. 62, 42, the 29, the 26, the 96, 84 car. It looks like almost the entire field's going to pit here.
It's almost everyone pits here. We had two cars that looks like that stayed out under this green flag pitting. We'll have to see where they filter out, but it may hurt them or it may help them. Either way, I would definitely want to just stay pitting with the pack, as we see the 81 and the 299 here making laps. I believe they'll probably come in this time to pit. I don't see
it'd be
why
smart for sure.
I don't see why they'd want to stay out longer.
Yeah, and there they go, diving down to the apron and go ahead and try to catch up and get that pit stop over with and get back on the track.
Now, it may have been a smart move, as you saw there was a lot of cars going to pit road, and that can cause a caution or a wreck or people to be slower getting into pit road. He may actually come out with a small lead here.
And here goes, looks like the 42 is the first one off of pit road, 21 follow behind them, the 84, 62, 26, 29, 96, 69, 99, 6 car.
As they're mostly all in a pack here, they'll probably bunch back up together and be a large pack, but we'll have to see what happens with Blaze Berlin in the 299. I have a feeling that they might actually come out ahead of this group.
Yeah, no, a part of me thinks that, I mean, as long as it takes these cars to get a pit stop, they may have been a little better off if they would have made another lap and tried to pit. But, I mean, don't really want to risk it there, especially only on lap 18 of this 85-lap race.
As the 299 comes out, and they're going to actually be behind the leaders here.
They're going to be a lap down.
As we're watching here, it seems that the pack is spread out a little bit, but I think in a few laps we'll have about 4 cars in that lead pack, as the 42, the 21, and the 84, and the 62 or the 41, whichever one you want to call it, Kenneth Reeder. That's kind of our lead pack here, as both of them are going to close up here on the 42 and the 21. as the 26 behind them is by themselves, and then there's another 2 cars behind them. The biggest thing here is to have a drafting partner or have a group of people to draft with, because 2 cars can draft here, but it's a lot faster if you have more cars. There's a bigger disturbance in the air.
Yeah, I've always had better luck with these cars when I'm running a 3-car draft. I mean, like you said, 2 cars will work, but the more the merrier with these cars. It looks like the 62 gave the 84 a pretty good push to put that nose out front, and on this pass and a start finish puts the 84 in first place, followed by the 42 in second, the 62 in third. Well, excuse me, take that back. It's 62 and 84 taking it on. The 21 of Rocco is also moving along with them. These guys may group up together and get a 3-car draft.
Yeah, as Jack Brown and Ryan Goodburn, and Emery Pitts are all together, as Bryden Heaton's behind them, and the 69 of Chris Warner is behind them. It looks like they're going to be grouping up and almost have a 5-car pack there, as the 299 is behind them of Jamie Curtis, and behind him is the 44 of Jason Raymond, and then behind Jason Raymond is Blaze Berlin in the 81. Definitely has a fast car, but that pit stop really put a hurt on his lead and put him back into the field. As behind him we have Matthew Brewer in the number 6 car, tailing up the rear.
So head down the backstretch into turn 3 and 4. We got the 21 now battling with the 62 for the lead. He's got a little bit of a help from the 42 car. The 84, which was up in the top 4, he dropped back a little bit. Looks like he lost his help, and I mean, nothing you can really do there when you're a single car running behind a 3-car draft.
No, I think this 5-car draft behind them will catch that 4-car in front of there, and then we'll have around a 9-car pack, as Ryan Goodburn, you see, is going to the high side. They need to get in a line and definitely work together. That's the only way they're going to catch that pack in front of them.
Yeah, and then they took their pits, the pit stop, I believe, at lap 18. So, I mean, assuming just an 18-lap fuel window here. So, with them being in the back, it might help them once the front 4 pits. And then, I mean, I'd like to see some of these pit strategies. You know, if everyone just, I think after that first pit, they're going to figure out that, man, maybe I only need the right side tires and just fuel instead of going a full tire. I mean, because after they pit, they get these, finally have their readings on their tires, so they can see their wear. And I think a lot of these guys are going to see that those left side tires aren't really going to wear down that much. But with these cars being a wide open all the way around, you can see a little bit wear on the left side, because when they're going around, I mean, these guys are almost drifting this turn essentially. So they may have a little bit of wear on that left, but they might be able to just take a right side and skip the left, go back out, and then once they come back in, they can go in for 4 tires. So that strategy can help these guys to get to the end of pit row a little bit quicker and get back out on the track and get up front once again.
I think a two-tire strategy would be something that Blaze Berlin or some of the back runners might want to try to get themselves back up in a group of cars, because it definitely can save you a lot of time here.
Jason, push him.
I don't see anyone in that lead pack possibly taking a 2-tire stop, as 4 tires is king here, but like you said, the wear on some of the tires is not as bad. But me personally, if I was in
Jason, push me as hard as you can.
I would take 2 tires to try to get up to the front.
Yeah, it would definitely be a
Hey Blaze, do not use
a
push
good
as
move
hard.
here.
You should be in the Discord.
But like I said, I mean, once again, that front pack, if they don't need to, then why do it? But strategy is what's going to possibly win this race for them. As we go 25 laps green, which is it's crazy and terrible to say, but this is the longest that we've went green flag racing in this league so far.
Maybe distance-wise, but not lap-wise. As we see the top pack there, the gap back, it's quite a big gap from that lead pack to that back pack. They do have 5 cars, but it seems like they're not really making any time on the pack in front of them. But this will be interesting to see how it plays out. Is we're gonna have to switch back to the back runners here and see what the back looks like.
Like the 299 has fallen way behind that back, that furthest pack, and he's actually just split the difference here. We got the 81 car and the 44 car of Jason Raymond, kind of trying to get a draft going here to see if they can catch up. And you know, if they can catch up to that 299 and get a 3-car draft here, they may be able to catch up to that furthest pack, and then might be able to see some actual movement going on with making their way back and making up some of that time that they lost.
It does look like they're more organized than the pack in front of them, and if they can get 3 cars very organized in a line, they could definitely catch up to that pack. And then we'd have to actually see if that pack could possibly catch up to the lead pack of those 4 cars up in front. Is probably the most exciting part about this race is the 69 looks to be dropping off of the that lead pack up there, so it looks like we have 4 cars up front, 4 cars behind them, and possibly another 4-car pack behind them.
The pack, once again, can make a big difference at these bigger tracks. Once you can find your, let's say, teammate, but someone who has the same mindset as you, then it can make a big difference. Just like the 21 car of Rocco, I mean, he started in, was it 13th place?
Yes.
13th place, and now he's in 4th. I mean, he knows these guys up front are really wanting to win this race, and they're going to do what it takes, and they're going to work together, and, you know, come down to the last 2 laps, everyone's become fair game. But when you got people in front of you that have the same mindset, you're golden.
But I believe a caution would definitely throw a hammer in this front car's pack's plans here, as they're it looks like they're actually pulling away from that second pack, because it looks
It's
like
okay,
they're all racing each other.
And once again, I mean, that's not the smart thing to be doing when you're 3 seconds behind first place. I mean, you really want to work together and get those cars up and going and get them moved up there. Well, actually, it looks like the 96 of Ryan Godburn and 26 of Jack T. Brown and 29 of Emery Pitts have maybe figured it out and get into a 3-car draft and trying to push that pack up just a little bit.
You know, watching that huge pack was very interesting, but I think it gets more interesting now that we have separate packs that are just pushing each other to see what happens. Because if this race goes green, you need to be in that front pack, and you need to make a move to get to that front pack up there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then coming up on lap 31, I believe that their fuel window is about to close up here. I'd like to say that these guys are probably going to pit around lap 35. And either, once again, they might take 4 and fuel, or they might take just rights and fuel. We'll definitely see how that plays out once these guys do another green flag pit.
We'll definitely have to see. And someone could make up the difference and get to that front pack with a 2-tire stop. Or we could see some other interesting strategy going on.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see anybody going into pits and not taking tires in this race. I mean, that just seems silly. That's just gonna cause mayhem.
I don't know. We've never seen the strategy done. I've never done it in our practice races. But in the draft, it definitely keeps you sucked up and in forward momentum. So maybe if you have worn tires, you might be able to stay up in that draft and be fine. But else be something that we have to look at and see if someone does.
Yeah, I mean, with these fuel window, I mean, your fuel's gonna run out a little bit. Your fuel's gonna run out first before your tires do. So, I mean, if someone's desperate enough, they may make a fuel stop only. But I wouldn't see anything like that happening here on lap 33 or 35. I mean, or just anytime soon. Now, if we get down to lap 82, 83, I could see that being a thing. But like we said earlier, fresh tires is king here.
For sure. As we see this, it looks like the second pack is kind of organized a little bit better. I don't know if they're making time on that lead pack, but it looks like they're actually being more organized than before.
Going here to the results page, it looks like that further pack, so 5th place, and led by 96 of Ryan Godburn. They're sitting about almost 4.5 seconds behind the leader, which isn't too bad. I mean, it can be made up for sure. But that front pack just keeps pulling away, and I mean, like they have been doing this whole time. They've been a little bit more organized, and I guess understanding of, hey, we need to work together, guys, and get this pack as far up, because those 4 seconds could be a game changer when it comes to a pit stop. If you got 4 seconds on the guy behind you on your pit stop, it's gonna guarantee that you get out of there faster.
I mean, if I was in that second pack right now, I would be thinking about taking 2 tires.
Oh, and we got lap 34. We got the 62, 42, 21, and 84. That whole front pack is pitting. Let's see how the rest of the field thinks about this. Looks like the 81, Blaze Berlin, who stayed out last time, is also going to stay out once again. Looks like the whole rest of the field came in, so hopefully we'll see some strategy here and see what's really going to happen, and see if we can get some more pack racing going on.
I think a 2-tire stop, if you're in that second pack, would put you up into that lead pack. But we'll have to see what someone does. It looks like the 6 car took no tires and is coming out of pit road first.
We'll see how that works out for him. I mean, having old tires is going to make you can slow your car down tremendously getting around these turns.
81 coming to pit road here. Cody, how does it look coming off of pit road?
Right now it looks like the 21 of Rocco is going to be coming. He was first to leave his pit. The 42 car, 62, 21, and 84 all made it out together off of pit row. We got some more cars leaving now. The 29, 90, 99, 96, and 26. So the guys that were in the back, that further back pack, once again, I mean, it looks like we're going to still have the same spread here. I don't think anybody really did this whole take only right side and go. So we're still going to have some pack racing coming out of this green flag pit stop. A caution would be great to definitely get this back up and get a big pack racing, but I mean, if you don't need a caution, then why get one?
As we watch these 4 cars up front, it looks like they're kind of split into 2x2, but they'll shortly probably group back together here.
Looks like the 81 car, once again, like I said, stayed out and went into pits last. He's finally coming off the pits, just past that blue cone and coming out on the backstretch. He's going to be a little bit slower than some of the traffic coming up on him, so we'll see how that plays out for him. As our lineup now on lap 37 is 42 of Rudy Valentine up front, the 21 of Rocco, who started 13th, the 41 or 62 of Kenneth Reeder, who is in 3rd, and 84 of Bama in 4th. Looks like Rocco just had something maybe happen and slid up on the outside line and dropped way back. Looks like he's just going to gather himself and get back right behind the 84 car to see if they can get a 3-car draft going on. And it looks like it's working out pretty well. The 62 car sped up and kind of closed that gap in between him and the 42. The 84 car is helping the 62 finally push up and get that 4-car pack back in line and get him reorganized and get him pushing up the track. And that furthest back pack is earlier, as we were talking, they were 4 seconds down. They are now 6 seconds down.
I just pulled out my calculator to do some math here. I honestly think the 81 might be staying out extra laps as we see the 26 get loose. The 26 is going across the track. Cody, the cautions come out.
Caution is out.
As the 26, as we saw.
Looks like the 26 was going into turn 1. He's by himself, no one really around him. His car just started getting wild and went down through the grass, came up and hit that outside wall, slammed into it pretty hard. He's definitely going to have to use one of his fast repairs here, and brought out the caution.
I really don't understand how he got loose there, but he overcorrected and shot it back up into the wall. Luckily, no one hit him.
And Dubious, I'll be right back.
As Cody takes a break, we'll take a break here, and we'll be back with the after the caution. Welcome back here at the Pure Michigan 85 as we got our first caution of the day as the 26 of Jack Brown lost control, slid through 2 and ended up overcorrecting and hitting the wall. That kind of throws a wrench in everybody's strategy as I think you can make it on a few stops here now. The thing that I was talking about earlier with the math is I thought Blaze Berlin was staying out a lap or 2 extra to because we see that the pit window is about 18 laps. If you can stretch it at 2 more laps over the whole run, you could definitely probably make it all the way to the finish in 4 stops. But unfortunately, this caution comes out and kind of ruins that plan here. As the lights are off on the pace car and we're going to be going green here next lap. It's definitely been an interesting race. We've seen big pack racing, and then we've seen the packs split away and have just small packs trying to catch each other. We haven't really seen anybody do any crazy strategy to try to get up front. Besides the 29 and the 299 staying out and not actually getting tires or fuel under this caution. That's why they're in the lead right now, as it looks like we're going to have a pretty interesting race to the finish here. Cody?
Yeah, definitely, like you said, throws a wrench in everybody's plan. If they were going off for strategies or counting these laps and trying to figure out what they can really do here. A caution at lap 38, I believe it was, is definitely something to think about. We got guys up in the lead right now who have not really been up there much at all. We're going to see a lot play out here, and they could stay green flag for until the end, or we could get a caution on this restart. But as the pace car dives down and on the pit road, we're about to go green here at Pure Michigan 85. And currently, as you pack reading from front to back, Emory Pitts is going to be in front, the 299 in second,
I don't know what
the 84 of Mark Lewis in third, 62 of Kenneth Reeder in fourth, 42 in fifth, the 21 of Rocco in sixth, 96 of Ryan Godburn in 7, 99 of Brian Hedden in 8th, and Jason Raymond in 9th, Blaze Berlin in 10th,
cleared. I don't
Chris
know why
Warner
I
in
came
11th.
Jack, be quiet.
Matthew Brewer in 6th and 12th, and Jack T. Oh, looks like we got a big wreck happening right here. The 42 car is actually airborne, flipping through the air. Oh wow, let's go back and see if we can get a closer look and see what in the world just happened. Ooh, we are gonna see the 299 car just slam into that outside wall. Looks like the 29 car kind of pushed him up a little bit. But the 299 just didn't have the room. He slammed into the topside wall, came down, hit the 42, which was spun around and flipped through the air. The 99 came up as well and hit the 42. So we got about 4 cars involved in that wreck. We're going to go back and do a little bit of investigation on that 29 car to see if he was the start of it all. And we go back. It looks like the 29 car had the middle lane and then all of a sudden just went straight to the top of the track. I don't know if he was trying to throw a block and deal with the 299, but I mean that wasn't a very smart move there.
299 and the 29 penalty.
Okay.
EOL for both.
Yep.
299 first, and then the 29 behind.
So 29 first, then 299 behind.
That's a strike for both of them.
29 in the back and 299.
As folks, this is what brought out the caution here. As we'll play it back for you here.
I went and talked to some drivers, and looks like the 29 car did admit that he was in the wrong there. So I mean that definitely helps when it comes to handing out those EOLs.
Yeah, he definitely made an erratic move to the top there to try to block.
Which would have been fine, but you got to make sure you have the room to actually throw a block there. And once again, for people joining this stream, we have new rules that we came up with about 2 weeks ago after a terrible yellow flag race. That's actually just eye-pacing the entire time. If you cause the caution to come out, you are given an EOL and a strike. Once 3-strike rule, 3 strikes you're out. So if you wonder why 29 car was given an EOL or the 299, it's the people who caused it and were involved of it. I mean, if it's aggressive racing or just stupid moves or anything like that, we're definitely going to put them to the back of the track, back of the pack, and make sure that they can't mess up everybody else's race. Because I mean, that was the second and third place that just caused that wreck. I mean, they could have wrecked the entire field. Dubious so far. How are you feeling about this race, and what's your outlook on it?
I think the cautions aren't done here. I think people kind of can smell the finish, and they're starting to get a little antsy here. I think you need to settle down and try to race smart and not be overly aggressive.
And, as we're reaching a little bit over halfway here, you're going to start seeing a little bit more of aggressive driving, which is fine. We're not saying you can't drive aggressively, but just don't be stupid and don't take anybody else out. I mean, everybody else here is here to win this race, and we don't need someone who's driving aggressive but can't, essentially, and take everybody out of the race. So I believe we're going to see some aggressive moves here, and a little bit more than what's been happening on underneath this 36 lap green flag, I believe.
Yep.
We need a clarification from, we want to know if you're going to be throwing the yellow flag at all if it's necessary.
Why would it be necessary?
We're asking if it's necessary.
No.
Green, green, green.
I don't feel that a yellow flag would be necessary. I mean, but if it doesn't throw one, then I guess we could put our 2 cents in and get one out. Looks like the 299 stayed out and didn't take any use a fast repair or anything. His car is, I mean, damaged for sure.
Looks like a modified right now.
Up and check our leaders out. The 62 car just kind of moved his way around the 84. Looks. Man, if you would have had it.
You want to watch that spinner?
Yep.
Do you have contact with the wall after that?
44, no. Oh, I'm watching it now.
Throw the caution.
Oh, wow. Throw the caution?
Throw the caution.
Caution, yellow flag.
I mean, but he kept it going.
Yeah, but he came up and hit the wall on my screen. And if they
Did
hit
he?
the wall, it looks like he hit the wall.
Oh, he was. I mean, he barely got off of it, but no, he didn't hit the wall.
Well, I'll just throw it anyways.
Looks like what happened is,
Looks like he got spun.
yeah, the 81 came down and put their left rear into his front right, and
And it looks
pushed
like
that
he
front end
came
down.
up too on my screen.
Yeah, it's just a racing incident. That's a warning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a racing incident. No one gets a warning or EOL from that.
They went in and just told them that they had they're not being penalized, but they definitely have a
Why is
warning
this
above their head now.
white checker?
Did we run? We didn't run out of time, did we?
Did they change the distance of this race without telling us?
Well, it's a green flag checker because it's only a 50-lap race. Thought it was 85.
Yeah, it said 85. Well,
Jason, that's my bad if I came down on you. I thought I held my line.
So it looks like we're going green, white, checkered here, and on a 50-lap race that we were told it was going to be 85, but
unfortunately it was switched to 50 and we didn't see it.
I mean, shortens our race and we get to do a little bit of fun racing tonight. Oh, Magnus, I think you'll enjoy this. My drink this week was also wine. Classy.
Classy, yeah. What I would have to say too, classy.
Looks like the lights are off on the pace car. Oh, no, they're still on, actually. Well, how have we not reached?
I think we're gonna finish under caution here.
No, we got. I mean, why did he have it for 2 hours for 50 laps? What is that? We're still live, right?
Yeah, we're in gonna take a break here, folks. And we're back here as it's going to be a green-white checkered finish to the end of this race. As it looks like we went a few extra laps here with that caution that came out. We're on lap 55, and we'll have a green-white checker attempt here, and hopefully this will be the only one.
There's no telling with this green-white checkered. There is going to be some big moves here. The 84 car of Mark Lewis, aka Bama, is actually out front, and this, if he wins this night, it's going to be his first win of the season so far, which can finally get him up into those points. But we'll see how it'll hold with Kenneth Reither breathing down his neck. And the 62 car, as a pace car drops right here. We're about to go green at Pure, Michigan. And the green flag is down. 84 car is taken off. They had a great restart, followed by the 62 of Kenneth Reither, 81 of Blaze Berland, and the 21 car of Rocco. And Rocco's been fast all season, but it just seems like he may not be fast enough to win this race tonight. The 96 car of Ryan Godburn in 5th. 6th place, Chris Warner. As the 81 car goes down below the apron right here, gets a little bit of contact. He saves it.
Wow.
This is a great save there. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Oh.
The 84 car still keeps about a car length lead, 3 wide into turn 3. 81 car of Blaze Berlin is all over the track. Looks like we got the big one happening here in Michigan. Looks like the 69 car was the one that caused this wreck here. He was actually moving up on the line. The 81 car came down just a little bit, got into the 69. He lost. He tried to save it, but he got on the apron and got on that angle like we were talking about earlier, and just completely spun his car around, came back on the track and got into contact with the 44 car. I mean, there's 5 cars involved in this wreck. Very dubious.
We're going to call out a racing incident to the finish, because it looks like rewatch from the 96 chopper view. Watch the 86. 81. It looks like he gets loose into the corner, and it's pointing down on the 96 on the 69. Do you see that?
Well, the 81 was loose, got in at 69, pushed him down to the bottom of the track, and went on the apron and lost it there.
I think the only thing we can do is give both of them an EOL at this point, because it's so late in the race.
I think the 81 and 69?
Yeah, it'd be the 69 versus the 81 behind him.
Alrighty. So 81 first and the 69.
Alright,
I mean, 69 held his line the entire time. That wasn't a dive bomb move or anything. 69 was holding that bottom line since the backstretch. So.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself real quick here, Cody.
Okay.
What?
Well, as we try for another green-white checkered attempt, I do believe we have them on, I think, 3 attempts.
Yeah, well,
which
we looked
can
at it and we said that it's
make for a little bit of
and we gave you both
good racing here at the end. As we see, some people are going to make some bigger moves and try to make that up, but the 69 and the 81 car were actually given EOLs. The 81 car came down and hit the 69. Like I said earlier, the new rule is if you cause a caution, you're at the end of the line. Just kind of weans everybody out, makes everybody think a little bit more than what they got. We're going to get the cars grouped back up here and get this caution lap underway and see if we can't get a good restart and get to the finish. The 84 car did stay up front here, along with Kenneth Reeder in second. Rocco actually moved up position into third, got in front of the 96, which is in fourth now. Brian Hedden is in fifth. Jack Brown is in sixth. Matthew Brewer in seventh. Jamie Curtis in 8th, Jason Raymond in 9th, Rudy Valentine in 10th, and then you got the 81 car, Blaze Berlin in 11th, Emery Pitts at the 29 and 12th, and Chris Warner in 13th.
Like, that's why you're in front of the 69 instead of the 69 in front of you. That's the fault car. Like, if you don't like the rules, complain to Bama about it.
No, that's fine. Okay, bye, I gotta go.
This will be Mark Lewis's first win if he can stay with it. And I mean, he's been holding his lines pretty well. He's been dealing with a lot of nonsense and going 3 wide here. But I think his car has been fast enough for him to maintain that lead. And as long as we can get this green-white checkered to take off, I believe he's going to win this race. Kenneth Reeder has had a fast car this whole race, and he's been fighting for that first position, but unfortunately it's been taken away. And as we see, Bama is going to be sitting in first place and trying to fight and hold that win. Dubious will be right back.
All right. As the pace lights went out on the pace truck, we're going to go green here as we're rolling towards the finish here in the Pure Michigan. 84 has been up front most of this race, along with the 62 with Kenneth Reeder behind him, the 21 of Rocco behind them. I definitely think it'll be down to those 3 cars, but it's anybody's race in that 3-car group right there. Is this series we only go single wide restarts. You can pass on the outside, but Mark Lewis has been covering the outside, so no one can pass him. You cannot pass on the inside. That'll be a penalty. That'll definitely take you out of the race with this many laps left. So we're about to go green here. We're going to be watching this race to the finish here.
Well, the cars finally group up on this. Get ready for this restart. Pace car is going to take a dive here. Lights are off, so we're about to go green. I was actually talking to the 84 in the other Discord, and he said, "Man, I really hope this race finishes out while I'm still in first place."
So they're about to go green here in the zone. Green, green, green. Here we go. I don't know why the 62 isn't making a move below the 84 Bama.
Looks like he gave him a little bit of a push here, but the 21 car, he's a rocket off his restarts, and I just don't understand. I've tried to match what he does, but he knows what he's doing. The 21 car has got a tremendous run right now. 84 is going to go up and try to get that block. I mean, hopefully we get to at least a white flag here. I know the 84 really wants this win, but that 62 car looks like he's got a little bit
62 car below the 84. No, the 84 is clear as he's pushing into the corner. He is below the 84 as we're going to have a great race here to the finish.
Looks like the 62 is getting pushed by Ryan Galburn to the 96. The 84 just finally lost that lead. Looks like we're coming down to a white flag right here. Anything can happen at this point. The 84 is trying to get that nose out front and really stay in front of that 62 car. The 21 car of Rocco coming up behind him, giving him a great big push. It's just not going to be enough for him to take that high side and get that lead back. 96 car drops down on the apron. Oh, the 26 car takes out the 299.
Keep it green. Keep it
Staying green here. No,
Oh!
goes down at 62.
That
Wow.
is a penalty.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. The 84 had it going great. I mean, just
Watch it to the finish here.
silly mistake there. And the 84 is going to take the win, but with what happened on that backstretch there, that's definitely going to be a talk from the officials.
Let's go back and watch that. Thanks everyone for watching the race. Due to the fact that this is a race altering incident, we're gonna look at it without the stream being present. We're gonna put you on delay here. Sorry about that, but it's just how we want to do it. So
I'm gonna go into the Discord now.